Hey guys, Pat here, and today we're doing another how to under 10 minutes video, and today we're doing a very different type of EDM genre that I've never actually explored but somehow managed to get a little bit of a song going here. So in today's video we'll be doing the style of Kobaryo. I hope you guys enjoy this one. This is my very rough attempt at it, but let's get into making a Kobaryo like song. Okay, so we probably want to just go sort of left to right. So for the intro part, I've made this sound as you can probably see here, I've consolidated many a times. So let's just listen to that part alone. So I made it with just, I believe, a simple serum patch, and then made it so it sweeps using the fruity parametric EQ2. So that's why I gave it that sound. I have some Foley in the background as well, an Atmo grinder thing. Sounds like this. I also got some risers and impacts here as well as the kick. And then we get to this little section between. I have a couple of these here. First of all, we got some of the hardcore kicks that are used later down the line. Then we got the sci-fi sound effect, which, to be fair, sounds something like from a PS2 video game. We got my data analyzer voice here. Now, the way I did it was just recorded me saying data analyzer. I pitched it by -500 cents. And I put on some effects for this one. So I'm using a fruity convoler here, and I've got a sound that just sounds like this. It's just a, like, sort of a dubsteppy bass. And if you set it to stretch all the way down, it just changes the tonality of the sound, so I'll play it differently here for you, just so you can get an idea of what that sounds like. So it changes it very differently. You can sort of play around and find out what you want, but set the dry quite low, wet quite high. Nothing else really needs to be changed. So I've got an OTT on that. I also got serum effects, which is brilliant. So some distortion with a downsample. Then we got a chorus and a compression on that. And then just to top it off, a little bit of ambience. Some of the other sounds here is just some white noises. This glitch thing. Quick noise up. And then this little pattern I've made here. This is a serum patch. I'm using basic shapes, nothing too complicated, some unison, some noise, and I've automated the LFO rate here. So after you made that sort of intro section here, you might want to add some additional sounds. So we've got this whole pattern. We got this whole pattern here. So we have just a free oscillator. With an arpeggiator on it, and it's playing just some of the notes. And then we got this dubstep bass I'm using, or I like to call the filler bass. It's just sort of in the background. Then we got this part here, which is even more sort of RP parts. And then it actually rises up in speed and pitch here. Same for the bass as well. It sounds like this. And then we got another data analyzer thing here. So it's still using the same effects. We got the sci-fi effects here. Kind of reminds me of like a Halo shield charge. Then we got this impact, which sounds really cool with the kick. We got some more rises here. And then we got some notes here that play like this. Kind of like a classic 8-bitty retro sound. It's really simple, it's just a basic shape. There's really not much going on effects wise. Simplicity is key sometimes for things like that. And then we get to like the sort of pre-build up, so we introduce the actual leads. So we'll go over the leads first. With the leads we got, I believe, 5 layers of different sounds. I'll play them one by one. Then we got the second one. The second one is probably the most prominent one here. Then we got a third. Then we got a fourth. And a fifth. All together. They're mostly like pretty simple patches. I'm just going to go through here. We do some basic shapes, simple stuff really, nothing overly complicated. So that's that. That's the leads. And then we got a little bit of a background source going on here. It's just made up of 3 layers this time. So we got the first layer, second layer, and a third layer. Yeah, they're just some random patches of notes and stuff and shapes that sounds relatively decent. So you want to introduce those. I got some little ARPs here as well. And some more sound effects. So this is what this part sounds like. We got some EQ automations going on as well. Okay, then we get to the pre-drop or the build-up essentially. So we got some more sound effects and more of the high kicks building up and distorting here with an automation, and some of the sound effects I showed before. For the build-up, I've introduced the kick pretty much on most of the. So this is, sorry, not to confuse it with the hardcore kick. So this is the normal kick. And then this is the actual hardcore kick. But yeah, we'll get to that in a moment. So once you, so for the build-up, you basically want to reintroduce the melodies again, and have a sort of kick build-up going on here. Some more sound effects, bring back the ARPs, bring back some of the background noises. And then you want to just like have a complete mess of stuff here. Maybe bring back some of the leads. These are slightly different altered leads that I've kept between the main drop. So this is the build-up part to it. So it adds a little bit of an extra oomph to it before it kicks in. And now for the drop, it's actually really simple. So I've got the main kicks here. Pretty bassy, pretty hard hitting. And then I got these hardcore kicks here. I'll show you a quick tutorial on how to do one of these, just a very quick one. So you get yourself a kick of any kind. A little bit of an EQ with some stuff, but the first thing is you just use a fast distort. A fast distort is actually really good for this. So this is what it's going to sound like. What you can do then is press this little down arrow, go to tools, consolidate playlist from selection start, and I'll just redo it. What you want to do is reroute it again for the same effects, and then with more distortion and more EQ, like so I'm playing around with, you can get a different sound. And there you go, you got yourself a kick. Alright, so once you make your kick, just slap it in with the other non-bassy kick. Maybe put some sound effects like this one into it, which is a cute anime girl doing a aha sound. What I've got there for effects going on is just, so I'm using delay, but I turned off tempo sync, which gives that a really cool like glitchy reverberating effect. But yeah, you want to sort of have a 4 kick bass pattern and throw in some little additional kicks and some repeats here. So with the repeats, you just take a tail end of the initial hardcore kick, just expand it basically with some of the effects that we used before from earlier. Then you want to throw in some middle parts here, which have the melodies and some rises and stuff. Then you might want to like cut off some of the frequencies from the hardcore kicks to then have a sort of second build up. Bring in some of the effects we used before again, and then switch up your kicks to a different type. Alright, so now I'm going to play you the final result. Hope you enjoy, guys.